Everybody, it's Gary Sivs here, and I'm here with a couple more of my bets for the Cheltenham 2020 festival. My ANTE post bets. If you've seen any of my other videos, thanks for watching them. A few of you have put some comments on there. It's good to see. I always like talking to people about what they fancy and what they're betting. As I mentioned in the first video I did, it's the first time I've ever done this, doing it for a bit of a laugh, see, how much profit we can make. Go back and watch the others if you want. This is video number 3, so there's 1 and 2 before this. If you are watching this one as your first one, what I did at the beginning is I took an imaginary pot of £500 that I said I was going to spend on ANTE post betting over the next week or two. I would tell you how much of that pot I was going to spend on each of my bets, and yeah, so far bet 1 we did was the double, the banker of the festival, which was Tiger Roll for the cross-country chase and Paisley Park for the stage hurdle. If you go back and watch the videos again, you'll see why I'm backing those. Probably a little bit easier for you to understand that one, why I'm backing them two hot favourites. And the second bet we had was in the Ballymore, the other novice hurdle, and as many of you have commented and know, I was taking on Envoy Allen, who I feel will go to the Ballymore, but I was taking him on in that race, and I put up Time Hill in hope that he will turn up in that race. And yeah, that's those 2 bets. So we'll move on to today quickly, because we've got a bit to get through today. And like I said, my first bet is in the Supreme. Few stats for the Supreme. 11 of the past 12 winners in this race have been aged 5 or 6. So obviously 4-year-olds can run it, but tend to not win it. Only two favourites have won this, but 7 of the 12 have been in the top 3 of the betting. 10 of 12 won in the last race. 9 of 12 have run in the last 60 days before the festival. Cheltenham form, 5 of 12 have run at Cheltenham, but only 2 of 12 have actually previously won at Cheltenham, so it's not actually massively important for the Supreme that you've actually been and got course and distance win under your belt. 11 out of 12 have had at least 4 hurdle runs under the belt before coming to the festival, which I was a little bit surprised at that one, that so many had 4 runs, 4 hurdle runs, not including bumpers or anything. And 10 of 12 winners had previously won a Grade 1 or Grade 2 race. So that was the stats for the Supreme. Just bear with me a little bit. I'm just going to bring up on my computer here. So yeah, looking at the selections that are in the Supreme, obviously we still have an open book as such, in that we don't actually know what's going to turn up here. There's a lot of horses entered in both Supreme and Ballymore and even other races, and my selection, I'm actually taking a little bit of a punt, like I did with Time Hill turning up in the Ballymore. I'm taking a little bit of a punt that this one's going to turn up here. I think, and quite convinced, that Abracadabra is a pretty poor favourite in this. I'm not saying he's a particularly poor horse. There's no shame. Obviously he was beaten by Envoy Allen. There's no shame in that, and he did finish second in that race. But went back and watched his races before that, just to see from the beginning onwards. His bumpers were a little bit hit and miss. I'm not saying he never won them, but his bumpers were his bumper form wasn't great, I didn't think, looking back at the races. And his jumping is something that I hadn't realised before. If you go back and watch his races, his jumping's not the greatest. He does tend to make quite a few mistakes, and a lot of people I've heard talking are impressed because he beat Blue Sari. Blue Sari was not the horse that everybody expected him to be that day. Now, I'm assuming that there was just something wrong with Blue Sari that day. I don't think that was the Blue Sari that we're going to see going forward. But I just don't think that form of Abracadabra's winning that race actually mounts up to as much as you think it would from the outset. And the main reason I'm staying away from him is 72. I think he's a really, really poor price. I just can't be having him at that. I would say if you do fancy him, leave it. Leave it. You will get at least that on the day. I think probably more. So if you do fancy that, my suggestion to you would be to leave him out of your Ante Post portfolio and back him on the day. Then we've got Andy Dufresne. Where he's going to run is up in the air at the minute. If he does turn up here, I won't be too bothered. He obviously got back to a winning ways the last day. Sorry. I don't think the form of that race is great. A lot of people have taken Captain Guinness out of it. Now, they've taken Captain Guinness out of it because he got so close to Andy Dufresne. Now, that's all right, but if you don't think too much of Andy Dufresne, then the form of Captain Guinness doesn't stand up to too much. So that's where I am with those two, because Captain Guinness is obviously priced up in this as well. I just don't fancy either of them. Andy Dufresne for me. A year ago, a friend of mine thought this horse would go on to good things in Andy Dufresne, but just not for me. I just can't see it. Then we have, if you look at Fiddler on the Roof, Fiddler on the Roof is a danger. I like Fiddler on the Roof. I've gone back. He came second, first two runs over hurdles, came second twice, and then has won his last two. The form of his two wins, not too sure about. I don't think there was an awful lot in those races that, are going to bump that form up to be a good standard. Couple of mistakes jumping last time out, but that was early on in the race and they were going really slow, I thought. So going slow, some horses do tend to like to be going quicker, which is good for him in the Supreme because they will go a fair gallop, they always do. So yeah, a danger, Fiddler on the Roof, but my selection in this race is a big price and I just can't ignore it. So yeah, to be honest, I was going to have a double bet in the race. I was going to back two horses. I was going to have, because my bet in this race, by the way, is an each-way bet. I was going to have an each-way bet on two horses, and I'm still debating whether to do that. And if I do it, by the time the next video comes up, I'll stick it on there. But at the minute, I'm sticking with the one. And my selection, with a bit of luck, he turns up here because he is entered in at least two of the races. Defies the form book a little bit when I went for the stats. He has only run twice, so he doesn't have many runs under his belt, but two really, really impressive wins. And I think Willie Mullins has got himself a really good novice hurdler here. And that is in the form of Asterion Falange. Currently best priced at 33 to 1 for this race. Now that 33 to 1 isn't with many bookies. You can get 33 to 1 with about 3 bookies, I think, at the minute. Bet365, Betfair, and Paddy Power. Then you can go 25s and even as low as 16s. Sky Bet have got 16s. Now what I would say is you can back now a lot. At least a couple of bookies have got non-runner no bet markets open. I would have a look down that route. I'm not too sure who has got. If you can get, obviously you can get a 33 to 1 non-runner no bet. You're laughing, but I don't think you'll be able to. But if you can get the 20, there's quite a lot of them are at 25s. As I can see, at least about 10 bookies here at 25 to 1. If any of them are offering non-runner no bet, I would. That's the one I'd be taking rather than the 33s banking on this one turning up. But I really like the look of this horse. I think he's going to be progressive. He's entered in a couple of races very, very soon. I think it might be at the Dublin Racing Festival. Yes, it is. He's actually entered in obviously 2 novice hurdles, a 2-miler and the 2-mile 6. I won't be bothered which one of them runs in the 2-mile 6. don't know if that would make him go down the Ballymore route, but I'm hoping he's going to turn up here. He's in the colours of Album 4, so them owners have got themselves another cracking horse here. The last race, that I've watched quite a few times, he did jump slightly right. Now, obviously, going to Cheltenham and jumping right would be a slight worry. But if you listen after the race, Ruby Walsh is talking, and Ruby Walsh says he doesn't jump right at home. Doesn't really know why he did it there. He thinks he maybe got a little bit lonely out front, and he was just jumping right, probably out of boredom. But he said the good thing that came from Ruby's mouth is that he doesn't do that a lot at home. There was a hot favourite in that race in Gordon Elliott's Pencil Full of Lead, which got nowhere near him. He, if you go back and watch this race, he puts both of his races to bed very quickly. When he puts his foot down and puts his foot on the gas, he like I say, hammered the field. He hammered the field of 2021 horses last time out, beat Pencil Full of Lead by 10 lengths. That was on good ground, good yielding. So again, he doesn't at the minute, I don't think, have any form on heavy ground, which hopefully we won't get at the festival. You know, his first win was on soft, which anything then from good yielding right down to soft, I think we're laughing. And I think at 33-1 we've got ourselves an absolute peach of a bet there. I'm going to put it on each way simply because of the price. I'm going to have a £20 each way bet on that. So £20 each way at 33-1 is for Asteria and Falange in the Supreme Novices Hurdle. All right, moving on from that, I'm going to take a bit of a punt, and as I was sat here doing this study for this video, I've been looking quite a bit tonight. I've been looking at a few of the mares races, the Mares Novices Hurdle and the Mares Hurdle. Now, I've had a feeling for a bit, hearing a few people say that if we look at the Mares Hurdle to start with, I fully believe that Benny Didier would win this with Honeysuckle in it. But I don't think Honeysuckle will be in it. I think Honeysuckle will end up in the Champion Hurdle. So Benny Didier is another one, a bit like Tiger Roll and Paisley Park were in my first video. I'm gonna take Benny Didier in the mares at 2-1. The reason I'm going to do that is because you take Honeysuckle out of this, and Benny Didier will all of a sudden become a 8-11, if not less, favourite for this race. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a treble up for this one. I'm going to put Benny Didier as the first bet in a treble. All right, now, looking back through the race, you go back to last year, for those of you who know me, my parents own Lady Buttons, and we obviously had Lady Buttons in the Mares Hurdle last year. Benny fell and was undoubtedly going to win that race last year, undoubtedly. And for me, is probably the best hurdling mare in England and Ireland, and I don't see anything even getting anywhere near. It's, like I say, it's another banker for me. So I'm going to put a treble up. I was thinking of doing it as a Trixie, but I think I'll do a treble. I'm fairly confident in the other two. So yeah, we'll go with a treble. And the first selection will be Benny Didier in the Mares Hurdle. Best price at the minute at 2-1. Bet number 2 of this is, as I have just mentioned, I believe that Honeysuckle will go to the Champion Hurdle. I think the Champion Hurdle is wide open. I think Honeysuckle will go and run in the Champion Hurdle at the Dublin Festival and will win. And then I think that will not force their hand, but I think it will make them want to. Just got to bring up the betting on this one. I think that will make them want to run the Honeysuckle in the Champion Hurdle. As everybody knows, the Champion Hurdle is wide open this year. There we go. And yeah, I think she'll come out, win the champion hurdle, the Irish champion hurdle, and I think that will make them go into the Cheltenham champion hurdle. Currently best price at 10-1. I think that is absolutely cracking odds. If that was confirmed that she was running in that race, I mean, at the minute we've got Epitan, isn't it? Is the best price? Sorry, is the favourite in the race. I think she'll be favourite. I do. I think everybody would fancy her. I think she'd get hammered in the betting fairly quickly, and like I said, because you've got to try and find a bit of value in your anti-post betting, I'm gonna take her on. I think Epitan is probably favourite because it's a fairly weak renewal. I do like the look of Sharjah at a decent price. There's a few in there. Obviously Benny Dudeur's in there. Well, I don't see Benny running there. Voyalan's in there. I don't see Voyalan going there. So there's quite a few in there as well that won't go there. I think Honeysuckle will go, and at 10-1, I think that's an absolute cracking bet. And I'm going to put her in there as my second bet of my treble for this for this bet number 4, as this would be. And my final selection in this treble is one I've been looking at for a while. I've been looking at this race over and over for probably all week anyway. I'd had a look at it before Christmas. Got back to it today, and I thought, right, I'm going to get my horse picked out for the Ryanair. Quite a baffling race, because like a lot of the other top races, there's a lot of horses in here that aren't going to run. But it's picking which is going to run here. They've tried to beat Altior with Min. I think it's clear to everyone that Min should have been running in the Ryanair. Min would have won the Ryanair last year for me. Frodon is back in this year. I just think, although Frodon won the last day, poor run before that, don't think that the win the last day mounted up to too much. And for me, I think Min is a winner of the Ryanair. I can't see them putting Min back in the champion chase this year. I think it's almost guaranteed that Min will turn up here. Aplutard, I really like Aplutard, and a great win the last day. But again, sometimes like all the stats match up fairly evenly with horses, and you've just got to go with your gut instinct. I think Min. I've showed some stats in here on Min, and Min's races. Min's races over 2 mile 4. His record is pretty awesome. In fact, I'll bring it up on here to give you it while we're on. Here we are. So yeah, it was anything over 2 miles. So when Min has run it further than 2 mile, so anything sort of like 2 mile 3 onwards, is reading back over from most recent. His form reads 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. So quite, never been far away. The couple of poor runs you've had where he's had a 5th and a 4th, they've been at 2 mile. I think Min is an absolute knocking bet. I really, the more I've read into it, the stronger and stronger fancy I've had. Now, like I said, Aplutard is a danger, but when you look at the betting, I'm really surprised to see that Min isn't favourite. I think Min should be favourite for this race. Best price is 6-1 for Min at the minute. Few are down to 5s. There is a 9-2 in there with Sky Bet. But yeah, Min is, for me, my Ryanair selection. So, like I say, you've got a treble from me. I'm not going to go massive because it is a treble and it only takes one to slip up, but yeah, I think we're going to go with, let's try and find it all, but there it is. So our treble for today in this next bet is Benny Dudot for the mare's hurdle, best priced at 2-1. Honeysuckle for the champion hurdle, best price at 10-1, and Min for the Ryanair, best priced at 6-1. Now, if you were, I'm just going to get my calculator up here and give you my stakes. I'm probably going to put, I want to put a £20 treble on that. All right, of my pot. So we've got sixes, we've got a tens, and we've got a 2-1 shot. Again, like I said to you, I was going to put a Trixie on and play it a bit safer. Sorry, fancy putting it on. That £20 treble will return, because they're going to win, will return £4,620. If that comes in, we're laughing, basically. We didn't worry about the rest. But yeah, if you're following my tips, even if you're just putting a couple of pound on them just to say you've backed them, good luck to you. I'll be back, if not tonight, because I've got a bit more studying to do on a couple of other races now. If not tonight, I'll be back tomorrow with another selection. Please feel free to comment, even if you're questioning why I've backed what I have, or giving your opinion on what you've backed. I like interacting with people, getting to know people. Got quite a bunch of new followers on Twitter over these, which is always good. And feel free to share them wherever you want. Like I say, I'm no tipster. I'm doing it. I enjoy my racing. My parents are massively into the racing. They have quite a few horses with Phil Kirby, and it's just something that I enjoy doing. I'm actually hosting a Cheltenham preview night where we have Phil will be on the panel. We've got Grand National winning jockey Bob Champion on the panel, and there's going to be some other jockeys and tipsters on there as well. So that's up my neck of the woods. I live in the northeast of England. Go on to my Twitter and you can find tickets for that if you fancy a trip out on Thursday the 5th of March to have a look at it. So this video has been a bit longer, apologies for that, but it's because I wanted to get through a couple of races and a couple of bets. If you're on them, good luck, and I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers.